You know, it's very important when you start to look at colleges that you start to narrow your list down. And I think it's not just narrowing your list down, it's also the process of when you start to narrow your list down. So let's say by the time you're a sophomore in high school, you're already starting to think about colleges. By the time you're a junior in college, you might have that list down to, you know what, there'll be 5 or 6 schools I'd like to go to. And then what you should do in this time is maybe get as much opportunity to do some research on those schools, maybe visit the schools and see the team play. You'll even have a chance to attend a summer camp and get a chance to meet the players, meet the coaches. And then what you can do by the time you're in your senior year, which is the time that you can make official visits, you know, you may have a list of 3 to 4 schools, and maybe through your wonderful soccer play, a school that you weren't even considering contacts you. And now you still have that opportunity to do some research and follow through on it. Making a college choice is probably the biggest decisions you're going to make to date. And so when you make that college choice, you want to have some information. That's why the researching is so important. Do you want to go to a school that is academically going to meet your needs? For example, if you want to be a lawyer, would this school help you get into law school? Is it the right social environment? Is it a school that you know you're not just going to be a full-time student, you're going to have some type of lifestyles, you're going to have some social activities, fraternity, sorority, all those type of things are important to you. Is it a college town? Is it, you know, is it just going to be completely surrounded with university environment, or is it going to be a big city environment, say something like downtown Chicago? Is that a kind of school that you might want to go to? And then, of course, the academics are important. And I can't stress this enough because we always talk about student athletes welfare, and student is always first for that reason. So all those things are important. We sometimes make decisions going to school because of that's where my mom went, that's where my dad went, or that's where some of my friends went, and it may not be the perfect school for you. We start at such a young age thinking about a school that's perfect for us because our friends went there and had a wonderful experience. It could have been mom and dad that went there, met there, got married there, and because you hear that from a little age, a young age, you think that's the right place for you. It's a huge mistake to choose a school because of someone else's recommendation. You need to make the decision that's best for you. Again, you know, what you're looking for academically, your social environment, and then also your athletic environment. A lot of people might make a decision, I'm going to the best school out there, and this school just won the national championship, and I'm going to go there and play there. Well, you know what? You need to investigate to make sure that, 1, the coach wants you. 2, that you're going to even make the team. And 3, take a look at the roster. If you're a goalkeeper and they already have 4 goalkeepers, that would probably not be a good decision. But you won't have that information unless you investigate it. Yeah, knowing the NCAA rules, NAIA schools have their own rules. Then you've got the junior colleges, and it's important that you know the NCAA rules. The NCAA does not give you any leniency for ignorance. It's something you're expected to know. You can contact the NCAA for information. You can also contact, there's a few publications out there. Of course, the one here in Dallas would be the Sports Source by Charlie Gadepsy that has a lot of information about the do's and don'ts about being recruited, or NCAA regulations. You know, the thing that probably disappoints me the most is when kids make mistakes and they break NCAA rules just through ignorance. No one ever told them, and now they're ineligible. And all that dreams about getting that scholarship or playing for a certain school, they can't even attend. You know, so you really got to do your homework, and the safest place to start is with the NCAA. Yeah, you know, there's a fine line of contacting coaches or over contacting coaches. But you have to understand the coaches, it's a full-time job. You know, they come in just like your dad does. If he's a dentist, comes in the morning, he leaves late, and that's the same thing coaches do. Coaches also work all weekends, evaluating players and going to tournaments and trying to identify players. So what you have to do is there's a fine line of contacting, showing interest, and then the other side is being a little bit obnoxious and overbearing. So the NCAA has a rule saying that coaches can only contact you once a week. Now, everyone is a recruitable athlete, okay, once they start their freshman year of high school. So once you're a freshman year in high school, you could be recruited at that point in time. Everything that you do has an effect on your being recruited or being eligible. So just think about when you come away from your high school with a high school degree, they look at all those grades you did from your freshman year all the way through your senior year. That's the way you want to think about being recruited. What you're doing your freshman year and what you do your senior year has an effect. So the high school coaches can only contact you once a week. So I think if you contact the coach more than once a week, it's already starting to overbear. I would encourage people to, when you've got something to tell, contact the coach. And the easiest way to contact the coach is through email. The phone calls, you don't want coaches to start avoiding your calls because, oh boy, here's a call from Missouri. I know who that is because I get a call every week from Missouri. So you want to be on good graces with the coach. You want the coach to say, this is somebody I really want in my program. Yeah, I think maybe too little is when the coaches start to worry that you don't even have an interest. You've disappeared for 6 months. So I would say about every 10 days, maybe twice a month, contacting. And here's a key thing for you too. If you're really wanting to have a relationship with the coach, then have a relationship with the coach. Don't have mom call. Don't have your dad call. And you need to pick up the phone. You need to make the personal contacts. You need to follow up on the coach's season. Hey, I was at your camp. I really enjoyed it. How is so-and-so doing? I got a chance to be coached by Michelle. I saw she played a great game the other day. And now it's a little bit of a personal contact and relationship. I think that would impress the coach that you have a sincere interest in the coach's team and in that university. This is key. As a coach in college for 32 years, I've seen a lot of letters come through, seen a lot of resumes come through. So I think an introduction letter is very important, and especially if you already have some kind of relationship with the coach, whether you're in the same town. In Dallas, Texas, there are hundreds of kids that I look at, that I recruit. Maybe it's an introduction letter of saying, I saw you at our game this past week, and I want you to know that, I do have an interest in your university. So now it's something personal. Or, I've attended your camps. I love the university. I've seen what you guys have been doing these last couple of weeks in the NCAAs, in your schedule. I want to be part of this conference, but it's something personal that is not a reproduced letter that goes out to 150 coaches. Right. It's even been embarrassing. I've received a letter, Shellis Hyndman, coach at New Mexico. Well, we know that I'm not at New Mexico. I was at SMU, but the person didn't even take the time to make sure that it was going, whether it was to the New Mexico coach or it was to Shellis Hyndman, but somehow it crossed. So it became pretty impersonal, and it became like, I'm not even going to recruit this kid, because they haven't even taken the time to make sure that they're sending it to the right person. That's happened more than I've got fingers. So it's something that's not uncommon when you hit reply all or just reproduce it. You also want to get into a situation where when you are trying to make contact with the coach, that you send out that introduction letter, and then you put in there, I'd like to come and visit campus. Would it be possible for me to stop by the office? And then when you get a response yes, then you can then put a date to that. And now it's not just a letter, but it's a face going along with the letter. You always have to remember that the coaches will identify the players they want. Okay, because they've spent years on tracking players, whether it's through games, personally, videos, or whether it's in tournaments. And then you may be a player that's not on that coach's list yet. What you want to do now is stir up an interest on both sides. You have an interest in that school, and now you're trying to get that coach to have an interest in you. It's also encouraging for a coach to see why you want to attend their school. Okay, my family has graduated. I will be the third Smith to graduate from this university, or I feel that I have friends on the team, and I like to join some of my club or my high school mates that are there. I've heard nothing but great things about the institution, your coaching style, the academics. And this is why I think I would be a good fit for your team. I know you like players that work on both sides of the ball. If you've seen my recent games, I take a lot of pride into being a two-sided player. I attack with the team, and I'm the first one back on defending. I am very positive with my teammates. I am fortunate to be a difference maker on my team. In the last 4 games, I scored so many goals, or I've got so many shutouts. But to talk about why you personally would be an addition and complement the success of the team, I believe in the philosophy of what you're doing. I think, I see players improving in your program. And, one day I hope to be playing professionally. And I think under your leadership and with the player that you have, these are the things that I can also bring. Yeah, so many coaches have budgets that just don't let them get out to see you play or see every kid play. So one of the best ways of seeing a player play is through videos. Now, the videos can be done well or they can be done poorly. Some coaches want videos that are showing your best moments. Some coaches want a full game so they can choose not only your good moments, but also your bad moments. Some coaches don't want a highlight film that started when you were 8 years of age, because they're not going to sit there for an hour and a half and watch that. So I find that some of the videos that I have enjoyed the most was a little bit of a teaser, which is a little bit of a highlight. Here's some of the things, some great moments that I've had, and then adding on a game. So now you can see the game. The important thing is once you get into that game, make sure that you identify yourself. Okay? We're on the blue team. I'm in the center midfield. I'm wearing number 8. At the 40th minute, I score a great goal through a great pass from a teammate. And in this way, if coaches want to kind of push themselves forward to see what's going on, they can. The mistakes that people make sometimes is that long video that becomes pretty boring or is outdated, not what you're doing today, but what you did 6 years ago. Bad competition. Coaches want to see good games. They want to see you under stress. They want to see how you respond to pressure. And if you're going to win a game, score 7-0, a coach wouldn't spend the money to go see that game. So coaches probably won't spend a lot of time looking at the video. It really does matter that the players are involved in the videos. So let's talk about some bad videos again. I received a video once that was done by a parent, and it was a player that was juggling a ball and showing foot skills. It took place in Colorado, and it was very windy. And I think some of the best players in the country would have had difficulty controlling the ball with a 40-mile-an-hour wind. But that was the video that was sent. And I remember looking at that video feeling sorry for the athlete, because the environment was so bad that we're never going to find success. So the best way of doing videos for me as a coach is to go to the high school. And because now it's not doctored up, it's not only the key moments, it's the most recent game. And I think this is where the student athletes can go to their coaches and say, can you send a video to this school? Can you send our most recent game to that coach? And then maybe just put in there a recommendation letter, coach. Coach, this is what high school coaches want to do. They want to help you the best they possibly can for you to reach your dream. You played 4 years of high school soccer. Now you're going to college. The high school coach wants you to find success. They also want you to choose the right school, the school that you're going to find success, not a school that you're going to get to and you maybe not make the team, or maybe not make the traveling team, or not even make the top 11. Because now you may lose an interest in the sport, where if you'd have chose a different school, it might have been perfect. So I would go to the high school coaches and get the video. And with today with YouTube, if you decide to do little splices of a game and put it on YouTube, it's so much easier for a coach to just click on the computer, find it, and not have to deal with the postage, clustering of 300 videos. When I was in college, I did the three phone calls. If I had a player that I've identified that I like, I would make 3 phone calls. And if I got all positive recommendations, then I would recruit the kid. If I got 2 positive and 1 negative, then I would make another call. And if I got 2 negatives, then I would never think about that kid again. So it's important that you get the right person to write your recommendation letter. And it's important that you think about what that person is going to say for you. Just like when you select a video, make sure you had a good game. You know, you don't go to your high school coach and say, send a video of our last game. If I was a goalkeeper and I just had 2 goals scored on me. You know, go to the one that you just had some great saves, because you always want to show your best moments. This is something a lot of people forget, and they forget about keeping their grades up or even maintaining their grades throughout their high school career. You know, so many times we think because we're the athlete that somebody will bend the rule. Somebody will get us admitted. Somebody will give us a break. Well, with the NCAA being so concerned about student athletes' welfare and academics and graduation rates, you know, today there is more pressure on coaches to make sure that their student athletes graduate from college. So if your student athletes come in and they don't graduate, then that affects your scholarship numbers for the following year. So why would a college coach recruit a high school player that has bad academics? Because that person is going to be high risk, high maintenance, and could affect my job stability. So coaches are looking for students that, one, have a real sincere interest in their academics. And it's not just, hey, this last semester I got a 3.0, but before that I had a 1.5. You don't just turn it around. They're looking for someone who's taking their academics serious, somebody who's doing well under testing, whether ACT or SAT. I've even encouraged some student athletes to maybe come in and do some summer classes before their freshman year to get acquainted to the university, to learn the college life of the university, to learn the demands of the academics. So the academics are the #1 priority. Soccer will get you in that door, but it won't get you in that door unless you have academics. I think the best thing that I could add is this is such a wonderful time in your life. You know, you should really understand how precious this moment is. You're going to choose a college that's going to affect everything else that goes on in your life. So when you choose a college only for its soccer, you could be making a huge mistake. You want to be choosing the college for its academics and as well as its soccer. And what I always tell recruits is, would you come to this university if you did not make the soccer team? And if the answer is no, then don't come here. But if you would come to this university, even if you did not make the soccer team, then this is the right university for you. So really enjoy this time, investigate, prepare yourself to make the right decision, and this will be one of the biggest decisions of your life.